If you can start again, would you go back to med school or would you just go straight into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I've thought about that actually. And I think the conclusion for me is that I think I would go to medical school. And here's why. Because if I didn't go to medical school, I would always wonder what it would have been like to go to medical school. Like, in fact, when people ask me, like students, like they say, hey, do you think it's still worth going to medical school? And my answer to them is, on your deathbed, would you regret not going to medical school, do you think? And if the answer is yes, then go to medical school. Otherwise, don't go to medical school. Why? Because it's a long haul, right? I mean, for me, it was like 4 years of med school, 7 years of residency, another year of training, and then that was, obviously 4 years of college before that. I mean, that's a lot of school, man. I was like in my early 30s by the time I was done with training. So with that in mind, why would I personally do it? Well, again, I would wonder, right? Because people who want to be doctors at some point in their life, I've met people like that all the time where they're like, yeah, I used to think about that, whatever. I have had some very interesting experiences, and I think those experiences are very valuable. And a body of knowledge that is extremely valuable. I see the world differently because I went to medical school. I see the world differently because I've drilled through somebody's skulls and seen inside their bodies. That shapes who I am. And so from a purely identity standpoint, I think, I still would do it. Now, I will say that if I hadn't gone to medical school, I'm quite sure that I would be 10 times wealthier than I am today, at least. For a couple reasons. One is that I spent some years in medicine. Medicine, pays, but it doesn't pay like some of these financial situations. The other thing is it's a matter of time. I mean, I didn't even start earning till I was like 33, 34 years old, right? And what if I had, I was 22, 23 and went off and started working for Goldman Sachs. And as an entrepreneur, you know what I would have done? I would have found some guy who was running a massive hedge fund or private equity company who was a billionaire. I would have become his boy. I would have done everything for him, learned everything what he had to do, and then I would have become that guy. What's interesting to me, though, sometimes I think, could I still do that? And I think the answer is no, because no one wants like this middle-aged man running around like getting them coffee. And I couldn't get my ego to do it anymore either. But yeah.
You heard it here. About looking for a mentor.
I have a good question.